Hello, it's Kate here, and I'm back. Article 55. Return receipts. The sender of a registered article may request to return receipt by paying at the time of mailing a fixed charge of 37 times at most. The return receipt may be requested after the mailing of article within the period of 1 year and upon payment of the fee prescribed by Article 53 for inquiries. Article 56. Extent of responsibility. With the exception provided by Article 57, following administrations are responsible for the loss of registered articles. The sender is entitled, on that account, to indemnity, the amount of which is fixed at 50 francs per article. Administrations assume no responsibility for articles seized by the customs as a result of false declaration of their contents. Article 57. Exceptions to the principle of responsibility. Administrations are released from all responsibility for loss of registered articles. In a case of force majeure, however, responsibility is maintained regarding administration of origin, which is undertaken to cover risk of force majeure. Article 54, Section 4. The country responsible for the loss must decide, in accordance with which is domestic legislation, whether such loss is due to circumstances when consulting a case of force majeure. When proof of the responsibility not having them furnished otherwise, they cannot account for the articles as a result of destruction of service, recourse due to a case of force majeure. When it is a question of articles whose contents fall within the scope of the prohibitions laid down by Articles 34, Sections 4 and 6, letter and 46, Section 1. When the sender has not made an inquiry within the period of 1 year contemplated by Article 53. Article 58. Termination of responsibility. Administrations cease to be responsible for registered articles, the delivery of which they have affected under conditions prescribed by their domestic regulations for articles of the same nature. Article 59. Payment of indemnity. The obligation of paying indemnity falls upon administration to which the office of origin of the article belongs, subject to its right to make a claim against the responsible administration. Article 60. Period for payment of indemnity. Payment of indemnity must take place as soon as possible, and at the latest within the period of 6 months, counted from the day following the date of the inquiry. That period is extended to 9 months in relations with the distant countries. A dispatching administration which does not accept risks from erring, force majeure may postpone settlement for the indemnity beyond the period prescribed for the preceding paragraph, when the question of knowing whether the loss of the article was due to a case of that kind has not been settled. The administration of origin is authorized to settle with the sender on his behalf of an administration in termination or destination which duly notified has let the 3 months pass without settling the matter. That period is intended to 6 months in relation with distant countries. Article 61. Fixing of responsibility. Until the contrary is proved, responsibility for the loss of a registered article falls on the administration which, having received the article without making any observations, and with being furnished with all particulars of the inquiry prescribed by the regulations, cannot establish either delivery to the addressee or regular transmission to the next administration, as the case may be, an administration of intermediation or destination, until the contrary is proved, released from all responsibility. When it has observed the provisions of Article 162, Section 3 of the regulations, when it can establish that it did not receive the inquiry until after the destruction of service records relating to the article sought, the retention period prescribed by Article 181 of the regulations having expired, this reservation does not affect the rights of the claimant. However, if the loss has taken place in the course of transmission, without it being possible to determine on the territory or in the service of what the country has lost occurred, the administrations concurred bear the loss in equal shares. When a registered article has been lost under circumstances of force majeure, the administration on whose territory in which those services of the loss took place is not responsible, therefore, for the administration of origin, unless both countries undertake risk erring from cases of force majeure. The customs duties and other charges whose cancellation has been impossible to obtain, the charges to the administration responsible for the loss. The administration which has effected payment of the indemnity has subrogated up to the amount, in case of subsequent recovery of a registered article considered as lost. The person whom indemnity has been paid shall be advised that he may obtain possession of the article upon repayment of the amount of the indemnity. Article 62. Repayment of the indemnity to the administration of origin. The administration which is responsible, or on whose behalf payment is made in accordance with Article 60, is bound to reimburse the administration of origin within a period of 3 months, counted from the sending of the notification of payment, for the amount of indemnity actually paid to the sender. If the indemnity must be paid by several administrations in conformity with Article 61, the whole of the indemnity must be turned over to the administration of origin within the period mentioned in the preceding paragraph, by the first administration, which, by having duly received in the article inquired about, cannot establish its regular transmission to the corresponding service. It is incumbent upon administration to recover from the other responsible administrations any share of each of them indemnity paid to the rightful claimant. The reimbursement of the creditor administration is effected without expense for that administration by means of either a money order, a check or draft payable at sight on the capital of a commercial city or the creditor country, or in coin current in that country, when responsibility has been acknowledged, as well as the case of contempt contemplated by Article 60, Section 2. The amount of the indemnity may likewise be recovered by the responsible country officially through any account, either directly or through the indemnity of an administration which regularly exchanges accounts with the responsible administration. At the expiration of the period of 3 months, the sum due to the administration of origin bears interest at the rate of 5 cents per year, counting from the date of expiration of the said period. The administration of origin may claim repayment of the indemnity from the responsible administration only within the period of 1 year, counting from the date of the sending of the notification of the loss, or if occasion arises, from the date of expiration of the period contemplated by Article 60, Section 2. An administration whose responsibility is duly established and which has first declined to pay the indemnity must bear all the additional expenses resulting from the unjustified delay in making payment. Administrations may agree amongst themselves to make periodical settlements with the indemnities which have been paid to the senders and the justiceness of which they have recognized. Chapter 3. Collect on delivery articles. Article 63. Rates and conditions. Settlement. Registered articles may be sent COD in relations between countries whose administrations agree to perform such services. Articles sent COD are subject to the conditions and rates applicable to the registered articles, and moreover, the sender pays in advance, at a fixed fee which may not exceed 40 centimes per article, and a proportional fee of 1.5% at most of the amount of the COD charge. If he desires, such amount may be settled by means of COD money order issued free of charge in his favor. A fixed fee of 20 centimes at most if he requests the settlement by means of a transfer to a current postal check account in the country of destination of the article. The method of settlement contemplated by Section 2, letter B, is permitted only by the administrations concerned undertake and apply such procedure for the settlement. The administration of destination turns over to their current account by means of a domestic transfer bulletin the amount collected from the addressee after deducting a fee of 20 centimes at most, and the ordinary transfer fee applicable in its domestic service. Irrespective of the method of settlement, the maximum amount of the COD charge is equal to that fixed for money orders addressed to the country of origin of the article. In absence of the country agreement, the amount of COD charge is expressed in the money of the country of origin of this article. However, in the case of transfer to a current postal check account held in the country of destination of the article, such amount shall be indicated in the money of that country. Each administration has the option of adopting, for the collection of the proportional fee contemplated by Section 2, letter, the scale at which most convenient for its service. Article 64. The sender of a registered COD article may request total or partial cancellation of the amount to be collected or an increase therein. In the latter case, he must pay for the amount of the increase, the proportional fee fixed by Article 63. Requests of this nature are subject to the same provisions as requests for withdrawal or change of address. If the request for total or partial cancellation of the COD charge or an increase therein must be sent by telegraph, the charge for the telegram is increased by the rate applicable to the single rate registered letter. Alright, that's it for this part. I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, and I'll have a link in the description below. Bye.